We had just had a super busy holiday season, seeing friends and family across the world. Then we settled into winter on beautiful Scraggy Neck, Cape Cod. We were halfway through the winter when we got some pretty awesome visitors. Rewind almost exactly 1 year, and we were in Baja California, Mexico. We had parked on a spit of beach along stunning Bahia de Los Angeles. One day, we were having a drink outside, just enjoying the view, when we saw the coolest looking truck pull up on the beach. You met Italian world travelers Simone and Lucia and their awesome truck nicknamed Valentino in our episode about that time in Baja. If you missed that one, you should definitely check it out. After our brief time together in Baja, we parted ways. They were headed north, and we were headed south. When you live a nomadic life, you never say never, so we promised we'd keep in touch and maybe, just maybe, our paths would cross again somewhere down the road. Well, how cool that our paths would cross again in a very different place on the complete opposite side of North America.
Their visit was short and sweet. They stayed at Scraggy House only for a few days. During that time, we caught up. A lot happened in 1 year. Their path went all over the place, and our path went all over the place as well. So we had so many stories to share.
Wow. Mira el spread.
El desayuno está listo. Este aceite de oliva es especial. Esta es la casa donde fuimos en España, en Barcelona.
Yo hice más café. Estás brewing.
Tortilla questa magnanita, abbiamo l'insalata, pane, formaggio, miele, un po' di condimenti.
Now, that was pretty cool. Have you ever seen a documentation of someone else documenting? Well, that was Simone filming for their YouTube channel. Check it out on their channel, and you will see that moment around minute 15.
It's really good. Yes, we love this, the tortilla. So they continue to drive old-fashioned way. That's what it was in Palo Alto. It's incredible.
It's so awesome that our paths crossed again. When we said goodbye in Baja, we exchanged stickers, which went right on our vehicles. And now here they were together again. Never did we imagine we would cross paths again in winter on Cape Cod, a location that was never originally on our route. And how cool that Lucia and Simone got to share in the peaceful magic that is Scraggy House.
Everyone is so busy here. Look at this. Everyone at the office. Lucia and Simone have a successful YouTube channel called Stepsover. They always have lots to do to keep up with their pace of 3 videos per week. That's really amazing that they can keep up with that. Sometimes people think that those who live a nomadic life are always on vacation. But we, digital nomads, understand each other. We know that it takes a lot of work to make a living through YouTube like they do, or through art like we do. So we all settled in to get some work done.
We enjoyed a couple more dinners and breakfasts together, sharing more stories from past travels and our plans for the coming summer. They were headed Alaska way, and so were we. So we planned to meet up again there. In the meantime, we enjoyed the time we had together now.
Do you get to see the statue as well? Do they still have it?
Yes, they move.
Yeah, and you know why they move it, right?
And then just like that, it was time to say goodbye again.
Bye. Hasta la próxima.
Buen viaje.
Bye, buen viaje. Well, we're alone again.
Back to work.
Back to work. Well, it was nice to have some time with friends. And now it's time to get back to work.
Here's where the record goes quiet again. For long chunks of time at Scraggy Neck, we kept our nose to the grind, documenting very little. But all the while, we were experiencing and appreciating a quiet winter on beautiful Scraggy Neck. We did have a few more visitors, like our friend Dave, who's been part of the Art With Harriet family from the very beginning. Dave followed our socials during the bus conversion, and we first met in person when we brought the bus to Root Studio in Columbia, Maryland in the first leg of the journey. Then Dave joined us on the bus during our time on the US-Mexico border, where we painted a mural at Good Neighbor Settlement House in Brownsville, Texas, and did an arts workshop with kids in a migrant camp in Matamoros, Mexico. In fact, Dave sponsored the mural at Good Neighbor, which is a day shelter for the homeless and a resource center for those seeking asylum in the USA. Our time at the border was a whole story in and of itself, which hopefully will become an episode of its own one day. Now here we were nearly 2 years later, meeting up in Cape Cod. And we also got a visit from one of my best friends in the whole world, Robin, and her partner Dan.
Let's see how the meat's doing.
You learn in a different way.
Maybe it's not intentional.
Robin and I became fast friends in college, and we've kept ties ever since. So we haven't really documented our time here at Scraggy House very much, mostly because we've just been doing the same thing over and over and over again. And if we were to show you, you'd basically just see us doing the same thing over and over again, wearing different clothes. But having said that, we want to show you a little bit of what we have been doing. So for me, my over and over and over place has been this beautiful little corner. It's been wonderful. I sit myself in that little corner, put my feet up next to the fire, and I've just been doing a lot of computer work. I have gone out to the studio a little bit to do some song work out there, but the majority of my time has been technical and computer work, sitting right here. This has been my day-to-day, and it's been wonderful. So this is what José Luis has been doing for 5 months.
Hi.
He's been right here in this corner, editing and editing and editing. We have gotten so many videos out, and we are so proud of them. And each one has been a lot of work. Here's the script. These are the hard drives. If you can believe it, that's not all of them.
So there's just a lot of footage and a lot of stuff to go through, and then once it's processed and edited, which takes a lot of time, but it's been worth it. It's been a lot of work, but we're so proud of what we've made. So there's a picture of what José Luis has been doing.
Then, once I'm done with the editing and color correction, the video goes to Cora to fix any bad audio. She also makes sure there is good balance between the narration, the music, and the footage audio. Now, being at Scraggy House was a huge gift. It was extremely generous of Jill and Ron, and so we wanted to say thank you with the gift that we have to give, our art. Can't wait to start. One of my gifts to Jill was a painting. I wanted to paint something inspired by the surroundings in Cape Cod. So I decided to take a few of those elements and combine them with a style that I really love painting with, and that is using geometric shapes and perspective. All right, I'm very excited to start painting again. It's been a while since I painted on canvas, so I'm kind of happy to get back to it. So let me clear this up, prep the table, and I'm gonna start painting soon. So I printed out what's gonna be. I don't know if you can see this here, but soon I'll be transferring this to the canvas, and soon it will be taking shape with all the colors that are gonna be added to it. Before starting this painting, I had to think about a color palette. Cape Cod seems to have its own color palette, so I drew inspiration from some of those colors that I noticed around the Cape. The next step was to complete the background so that I can transfer the design onto the canvas. Now, this step is a lot harder than it looks. When I'm painting in this style, I have to make sure that the lines are well defined and super clean. You can also see this in the murals we paint. But when we paint in murals, oftentimes we don't need tape and we end up painting the lines free-handed. But when I'm painting on canvas, using tape is a must. It takes a lot of work to tape off each section of color, but it's totally worth it. The results are really amazing. It is so satisfying to pull back the tape and to reveal a perfectly straight and clean line. The last step to finish this painting was to add sun dots in some key areas of the painting. I started painting in this style when I was still in art school at SAIC. After finishing a couple of paintings in this style, I noticed that they needed something else. They felt a little flat. During that time, I was also taking an art history class in which we studied the Aboriginal dreaming paintings from Australia. That inspired me to use dots in these paintings, and I loved the results. I felt like these dots added some movement and energy to these paintings. So Jill's painting had to have this element as well. And then it was finished. A gift for Jill that now lives on the walls of a Scraggy House.
But that wasn't the only art going up on the walls at Scraggy House.
So it's a nice rainy day here at Scraggy House. And we wanted to show you what we're about to start working on. So one of the things that we are going to leave behind here for Jill and Ron, and thanks for their amazing hospitality and letting us stay in this beautiful home all winter, is that we are going to leave a mural. They're gonna have their own Art with Area mural here on the garage wall.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Getting ready to start painting this wall. This is gonna be our last project here at the Scraggy House. This paint over here, I got more paint to get, and also I need to go and change to my painting clothing. It was a little hard for me to design something for this wall because, well, first of all, I want them to like it. Also because we have some things in front of the wall that they need to stay there. For example, the shoe rack is gonna be there. This piece right here is gonna stay there, and also this cast iron. And there's a big black mural over there that is gonna have to stay there because they use it for their activities that they do over the summer, because she has a lot of grandkids that come here, and this is kind of like not just the garage but also their playroom. So we wanna light it up a little bit with some color. Last night I just finished the design for it, so I hope they will be really happy. So it's gonna be a fun, colorful mural with some details about the area, Cape Cod.
And so it began. It was really important to tape everything off really well because, well, this is a home and we didn't want paint to get on other parts of the house. Same with putting up plastic over the stairs. We had to be really careful not to accidentally bring paint into the house and get it onto something that we wouldn't be able to get it off of.
Then we primed the wall, a very important step that will ensure that this mural will stay up for many years to come. Jill knew we were painting a mural for her in the garage, but she didn't know what the design was going to be. That was going to be a surprise, and she wanted it that way. She didn't even want to see pictures of it. She wanted to have the experience of seeing it for the first time in person. I just finished transferring the design to this part of the wall, so now it's time to add some color.
So we had a lot of fun giving little hints on social media, showing that the mural was going up, but never giving away what it was going to be. It was really fun. And that's a lot of trust. Letting someone paint a mural in your home without knowing what it's even going to be? Jill's just awesome like that.
Once again, in this design, I wanted to combine the stylized geometric style that I love so much, incorporating some themes of Cape Cod.
We loved how the triangles on one side of the mural look like the waves crashing on the shore, and on the other side of the mural, they're like the seafloor itself. Scraggy House is where Jill and Ron's family convene through the summer to spend precious time together. Jill told us a lot of hangout time is actually spent right here in the garage with some very serious ping pong tournaments. She was so excited that this family space was now going to have so much color and vibrancy from the mural added to the mix. It's always so satisfying to paint a mural, but painting something that you know will become a part of a family's history, of their precious summertime spent together, that's really, really special.
And then it was time for some of the last final touches, the seaweed and the coral on the seafloor. The mural is almost done. This part of the mural needs one more little detail, and that is a little happy window that is gonna go right here. And there's this cassava pan that I assume is used for paellas. That is supposed to be on the wall. So let's put it back together. That's cute. There you go.
And there it was, the Scraggy House mural. A gift to Jill and Ron in thanks for the incredibly generous gift of opening up their home and welcoming in two traveling artists.
We are here at Water Street Kitchen enjoying a wonderful date on Jill and Ron. Thank you guys so much. This is a beautiful spot and we are very excited for dinner. This is such a treat for us.
Great way to start the spring. Cheers. We got our appetizer. All right, dig in. So we just got our main courses and they look amazing. Look at this. This is duck. And Cora got tuna, yellowfin tuna. You excited? It looks so good.
When we first arrived at Scraggy House, Jill sent us a gift card for her favorite restaurant in town. We held on to it until the end of our time at Scraggy House because we wanted it to be a celebratory dinner for finishing her mural and a celebration of our time at Scraggy House coming to a close.
¿Qué opina, mi amor?
This is so good. It's amazing. This duck is amazing. Today is April 10th, which means we have about 20 days before we get back on the road. We had this bus parked over here since November. That's a little over 5 months, which means we have to start getting ready. I noticed that there's been a little bit of a leak since we had the bus parked over here. Just a little bit, I'll show you. So we had this little bit of oil leak in here. So the leak that we had before was coming from this hose, which got fixed.
but it seems like there's a little bit of oil leaking from up there. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but I'm gonna clean all this up to see if the oil is still coming from somewhere, because we only have about 20 days before we get back on the road. We want to make sure that everything is good so we don't have any issues on our way to Alaska. May 1st we're gonna be getting back on the road. All right, so it's all fairly clean now. All of these things here had some oil drips. They're now been cleaned. Hopefully there's nothing leaking. And hopefully all of that was just residue from the previous leak. I feel pretty good about this. I think we're gonna make it to Alaska and back with no problems.
Our time in Scraggy House was coming to a close, but just before we started moving back into the bus, there was another trip across the pond in store for us. Only this time, we weren't flying across the Atlantic. This time, it was over the other big ocean. Now, the place we were going, who we were going to meet, and why we were going there is a really special story, one we can't wait to share with you. And so that's just what we'll do next time on Aren't We There Yet? Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like.
Subscribe to our channel.
Send us a comment below, and for exclusive content and a behind-the-scenes view of the Aren't We There Yet journey,
Join us on Patreon.
see you over on Patreon.